Welcome, fellow explorers. I eat a lot of salad and I get bored. I love salad, don't get me wrong, but I get bored and I want something different. And the other day I was thinking, what can I do different with a salad? And I remembered, and I can't believe I remembered this because it was like 30 years ago. I was in LA and I had this amazing salad that had salami and garbanzo beans. And I remember at the time thinking, this is just a little weird. I don't know if I'm going to like it. But I loved it. So I did some research, kind of wrapped my head around how I could make this salad, and that's what we're making today, a salami and garbanzo bean chopped salad. So we're going to jump right in, and the first thing we're going to do is make the dressing because we've got to do something with the dressing while we're doing everything else. Okay, so first we're going to start with a very simple and quick Italian dressing. We have oil and red wine vinegar and a few other accoutrements. I love to make my vinaigrettes in a squeeze bottle because it makes it so easy to shake it up every time you want to use them. So that is what I'm doing now. So olive oil, get it all in there. Red wine vinegar. Dijon mustard. Dijon mustard. Get that in there. And I'm going to add some pecorino romano. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, wait a minute, she's dairy-free, what's with the cheese? I am dairy-free. It's really cow dairy-free, but it's just so easier to say dairy-free. I can do some sheep and some goat cheese, and this is pecorino romano, which is a sheep-based cheese. It's very much like Parmesan. So if you're dairy-free and you can possibly do some sheep and goat and you're missing Parmesan, go for the pecorino romano. Now, I can't eat a ton of this, and I'll have some issues, but I can eat some, and it's going to make this dressing really delicious. So I've got the pecorino going in, some dried oregano, and some dried basil. So really, it's just 5 ingredients. That easy. Put the lid on and shake. That's my favorite part. Oh, I could be making a martini right now. Okay, so we have a delicious dressing for our salad. Oops, I forgot 2 important ingredients. A little bit of salt and some freshly ground pepper. I just want to shake it again, that's what it is. I left it out on purpose. Okay, quick shake. Okay, so I talked about the garbanzo beans. So I have a can of our garbanzo beans. They've been drained but not rinsed, and I put them in this bowl. So I'm going to take some of the dressing and I'm going to add it to the garbanzo beans. So we're kind of going to marinate the garbanzo beans for the time it's going to take us to chop all the veggies for the salad. Okay, I think I've got enough. I'm going to put just a little bit more in there. And we're going to set this aside and we're going to get to chopping. So this salad takes 2 lettuces, romaine and iceberg, and I'm going to get started with the romaine. So I'm going to chop it. It's probably about 1 inch wide. I'm going to go across the head here. And then I'm going to come around and chop it this way. So we have kind of squares. I guess you could call it squares. They're bigger pieces, but they're not small, they're not big, they're perfect, they're medium. So now we're going to chop the iceberg. I cut it in half. I've already taken the root out of it. Oh, that's a nice head of iceberg. And so I'm going to cut it like this. I think we're only going to use about half a head of this. We're going to see what it looks like. And come over here and slice long ways. Or is that width ways? Okay, let's see. Okay, that's perfect. Oops, grabbed the wrong one. You're going to want about, I don't know, almost 8 cups of salad greens here. So that looks about right. We are going to do our onion. I want thin slices, but I don't want long slices. So I'm going to put a slice here, a slice in the middle, and a slice over here. And then I'm going to cut it very thin. And you'll see that we will have the exact size of red onion slices that I am looking for, which is about yay big. Well, that's 2 together. Yay big. Okay, so into the salad greens goes the onion. So it'll be about I'd say a half a medium red onion. Or if you really like onion, put a little more in. If you're not a big fan of onion, don't put as much in. I like to mix it up to see what my ratio is, and as I do this, I think I'm going to add a little bit more onion. So let's slice some more. Oops. Trying to get it as thin as possible and missing the mark a few times. Okay. Okay, I think that is going to be fantastic. Now we're going to add the 3, accoutrement is my word for this video, the 3 ingredients that are going to really make this salad jump out of the bowl and be so fantastically delicious. Roasted red pepper, Castelvetrano olives, and artichokes, marinated artichoke. Okay, we're going to start with the olives. And what I do whenever I'm chopping some very wet ingredients is I'll put them on some paper towel, because when you're chopping things that are wet or even slimy is a bad word, but you know what I mean, has some oil on it, it's a little dangerous with the knife. So I like to get as much moisture off as possible before I do this. Now, when you're choosing your Castelvetrano olives, get the pitted ones. Makes life a lot easier. And depending on the size of your olives, you might want to cut them in half or in quarters. Here, I'm going to actually cut them, let's see, based on the size of that, I'm going to cut them in half. I want a bigger olive in here for a bigger punch of flavor. But you can certainly cut them in quarters. Okay, now we're moving on to the roasted red peppers, which are always very, have a lot of moisture in them. Obviously, they're packed in water. Sometimes they're packed in oil, but I don't get those. Okay, I think that's it. And so I'm going to get as much excess water as I can off onto the paper towel. Then I'm going to slice them. These are pretty much a little bit bite size. Again, you know, you slice them however you want. The goal here is to make sure that you don't have, you know, really big or really small sizes that don't go with pretty much the size you set up when you cut your lettuce, because you want to have a nice configuration of all of your ingredients being around the same size. There can be a few that are a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger, but nothing too out of whack. And the last, well, not the last ingredient, the last vegetable-based ingredient are the artichokes, and these are the ones that really are going to be they're marinated. They've got some oil in here, so they're going to be hard to work with if you do not kind of drain them or pat them off. So I've got them here, and I'm just going to chop these about yay size. So now we are ready to chop up the star of the show, salami. Now you're going to want to get a good salami. You do not want to use lunch meat salami at all, because it's not going to have the texture. You need a bit of a chunk of this. So I chose the boar's head Italian dry salami. So we're going to chop this up. You don't, again, with all the other ingredients, you don't want too big or too small of pieces. You want just right. Okay. So I'm going to do one slice in the middle. Oh, and then I'm going to slice. Well, hold on. There. I'll slice long ways, which it is thick, so it is going to be challenging. Okay, so then I'm going to do this one. Be very careful when you're doing this. There we go. That is a thick piece of salami. And I don't think I cut it just perfectly. I'm going to cut it one more time, long ways, because I want basically a quarter of, say, a circle. So you could slice it into discs and then cut it in fourths that way, but I've chosen to do it this way. I just took a bite. Very good salami. Okay, now that we have our slice, I'm going to go, it's probably about ½ inch. I think that's going to be a good size. Let's see here. So this is what you end up with, is it's a little pie. It's a salami pie. Okay, let's get that in there. You want a little bit chunkier of the salami because that is the main star. So I'm going to slice the rest of this, and then we're going to be just about ready to eat. Okay, so we have everything in the salad but our marinated chickpeas. So in they go. They're very happy to be added to the party here. So I have a tong, and I am going to gently mix to distribute all the ingredients together. This salad is, oh, the smell from that dressing and the garbanzos and the salami. I cannot wait to eat this. I love a good chopped salad. And I think this is going to go into my standard rotation of salads. I have quite a few of them, and I am so excited to add this. So because the garbanzo beans were marinated in the dressings, you're going to get a little bit of dressing in here. But that's the only dressing I want you to put in your bowl of salad, because you're going to have leftovers. And if you have too much dressing in here, you're going to have soggy leftovers. So what I suggest, if you're serving this for a family or a party or a get-together and you know it's going to be gone, go ahead and dress the bowl of salad. But if you're not sure how much it's going to be, eaten, then I would plate it up and let your guests, dress the salad as they want with the squeeze bottle here. And that's what we're going to do. So I've got a bowl here. I've got a fork, which means I get to try it. So I am going to plate up some salad. Okay. I'm going to grab as much salami as I can. Okay. Now, because I'm mixing this, I can see that there's some dressing in here. So I don't need a ton more, but I'm going to add some. Okay, here we go. I'm going in. I need a piece of salami. I'll try to get as much as I can in one forkful here. A garbanzo bean. Oh, that was so good. I gotta get one more. I didn't get a garbanzo bean. I need the whole experience. The salami is a nice hearty element to a salad. If you've never thought of adding it. The garbanzo bean is so surprising. You think, ew, garbanzo beans in a salad, but they add a bit of a creaminess, and I like the crunch. And the flavor of the dressing just envelops everything. I absolutely love this salad. I hope that you try it and you fall in love with it as much as I have. Thanks so much for watching. We really appreciate it. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. That would be very helpful for us. YouTube likes it when we get subscribers. And also, you'll be notified if you hit that notification bell when we release new videos. And until next time, happy eating.